if you think about it, sketchbooks are kind of like closets for art. It's a low pressure kind of thing. Like if you make art that you don't like in your sketchbook, it's not going to be on a wall. It's not going to take up a whole lot of space. So you don't have to worry about it being perfect. Now, some people do have beautiful sketchbooks with complete drawings in them. But I think sometimes we miss the point of a sketchbook. And I'm not saying it's wrong to have a beautiful sketchbook with beautiful drawings, but I think there's beauty in the drawings that aren't fully fleshed out. Maybe you're just working on an idea for a bigger painting, or you're just, I don't know, playing around with some of your art supplies and seeing how they interact with each other. I think it's important, though, to have this kind of low pressure art space. It's a way to learn and grow. And this painting here is no different. I didn't set out to have like a picture perfect painting. I'm not going off of a reference photo or anything. And really, the main reason I painted this was to play around with different colors. This is a painting of a black and white Boston Terrier, a very loose one. And I wanted to play around with some different colors to use for black, because using just straight black, it can be quite boring at times. So I decided to take Payne's Gray and some blues and a little bit of red. I ended up with this like purpley color, which is, it's fine. It worked out pretty well. Yeah, that was just kind of the point of this whole painting, was to play around with color and my art supplies. And I will note, this sketchbook, it's not a watercolor sketchbook at all. It's technically created for bullet journaling. It's based off of the Lectern 1917 sketchbooks, bullet journal books. This is just Amazon's version. So yeah, I don't have to be super precious with this sketchbook. It's an inexpensive sketchbook. If I mess it up, no big deal. And I think it's important to have sketchbooks like that, where you're not real precious with having it look perfect. I know I mentioned that earlier, but sometimes things need to be said twice. I get my brush strokes pretty loose with the body of this sketch. I'm using the Winsor & Newton watercolor palette. It's the travel size. It has 12 colors. And the 12 colors that they chose, they did such a good job on choosing them. They gave you a couple different options for blue and yellow. They put in a purple, which was nice. There's a red. I did a review on this set a couple videos back if you're curious about this watercolor set, but I've been really happy with it. Yeah, I'm hoping to do another watercolor palette video once I get some of the watercolors I ordered in. Yeah, I've got a palette that I'm gonna fill with some Daniel Smith watercolors, so I'm looking forward to that. I had the empty palette for a little bit now, but I didn't have enough colors to like fill all the pans. So I finally bought some with some of my Christmas money. My goal for 2026 is to draw more accurately and to kind of get away from doing landscapes. I feel like there for a while I got into a little bit of a rut just doing landscapes. Mainly because landscapes come easy to me. So a lot of times I would be like, I'm just going to draw a landscape because it's nice and easy. But I'm determined to challenge myself more this year. What are some of your art goals? Let me know in the comments below. And if you made it this far in the video, comment dog. It's always interesting to see who watches all the way through. I'm trying to make more entertaining videos. I've got a few video ideas rolling around, and I'm also trying to be more consistent about posting videos. But I've also had a major learning curve when it comes to editing, and so I feel like it won't take me long to actually re-record the video, but then I spend forever fighting against my technology. But hopefully with time I can get a little bit better at the editing side of things. And I'm also hoping to get better at doing these voiceovers. I kind of regretted putting the whiskers on this dog because they ended up to be more pronounced than I wanted them to be. I tried to like fade them out a little bit with some water. It didn't really work. But the whiskers kind of made him look like a cat. But that's okay. We're just here to have fun, right? Then for the background, I just added some different colors. Kind of wanted a colorful, fun background. And I used a fair amount of water here. I was really testing the limits of my sketchbook here. Yet luckily it worked out, and a hole didn't form in the sketchbook. And I think that's partly because I didn't really do like a whole lot of scrubbing on it. I just kind of like placed the paint in the water that I laid down, and then I blotted it dry with the paper towel, as you can see here in a few minutes. Then I went back over it with some more color, because it kind of faded the color out a little bit. So I was like, I want a more vibrant background. I think I decided to add a little bit more blue here. And that pretty much sums up the painting. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I thank you for watching. You guys are the true VIPs. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Thanks.